Well, we all want to change the world. And it's true, we all do. Listening to some motivational music on this election day. Today is not just election day, it is D-Day, my birthday. I'm not going to make this recording too long because I want to make, well, I say I want to make the most out of this day, but really I want to make the least out of this day. Once I'm done with what I'm doing in the house, I go vote. Lucky for me, it's literally downstairs. And then I come back up, and it's whatever I want to do with my day. Walking Sam to the bus this morning, I thought of about 7 different things I could do, should do, half of which I'd been putting off. And then a good cold snap of wind bit me in the face, and I went, man, screw that, I'm going home. It was a very Cartman moment. Screw you guys, I'm going home. You know? Thank God I don't eat cheesy puffs. So yeah, today is a big, big day. For a lot of people, for a lot of reasons. It's not just the presidential election. There's local votes. There's marriage equality votes going on in quite a few states, including the state I grew up in, Maine. And that's been a back and forth territory. At certain points, it's been legal, and then it was referendumed and referendumed and referendumed, and now it's not legal, and I really hope that it becomes legal everywhere, ideally, but I would like to be able to live in the state my family is from, where it is legal for everyone to get married. And I'd like to have the confidence in my mind that when I go back to where I grew up, that it's the same, that there is universality to it, that there is equality to the universality. Which may sound vaguely redundant, but it makes sense in my head. So when I get back up here, I am going to do what I always do on my birthday, because in the history of me being of legal age to work, I've never worked on my birthday. Don't go to class, don't go to work, don't have doctor's appointments. To me, a birthday is, in my experience in life, a solitary event where you do anything and everything that makes you happy. Now, when I'm earning money, working, I do it up. I'll go to a movie, I'll treat myself to something at, some nice store or something, like, Bath and Body products or, whatever. Go where I really like to eat and not care how much it costs within reason. I mean, I'm not getting 5 people's worth of food, although I did used to be that fat. And that's how I would do things. Bless you, coffee. However, when I'm not earning money, such as the last few years of my life, I get insane stingy. Tight. I mean, even if I have money in the bank for some reason, because it's been gifted to me by pick a grandparent, parent, whatever, I get very, very tight with it, because it's one of those kind of survival responses for me, like if you don't have food, you hoard it and you ration it very, very stingily. If you don't have a lot of money, you ration it, and you only spend it when you feel you, honest to God, have no choice but to spend it. So to have this much money and someone to tell you, I want you to go spend it on yourself and do something nice for you. What? That sentence makes as much sense as military intelligence, girly man. It is oxymoronic in my life. Anyway, another thing that's strange in my life. Look at this, okay? Look at how long this has gotten. This is insanity. I've had maybe 4 inches cut in 13 months. And when I started growing it out, which was the beginning of September of last year, leading up to my wedding, my hair was to here. This is where my hair now ends. I've had 5 inches cut off. I'm relatively confident that I can say my hair grows like a motherfucking weed. Sorry for swearing. So, I will make a brief couple of comments on political notes. One, I try very hard not to comment in this about my own personal political beliefs, meaning I'm not going to tell you how you should vote, who you should vote for, why you should vote for them. I try to be very clear about what I believe in, what makes sense to me, and how I'm going to react based on my views. Again, I am a liberal. I am a Democrat. I am for government that helps provide for the elderly with Medicaid and Social Security. I accept that welfare has become a necessity. I grew up in a house that was on subsidized housing and food stamps. I don't see these as bad things. I see them as helpful tools that get abused, to be sure. I mean, I'm not going to argue fraud is rampant no matter what side of the line you're on. But I think they can be helpful tools. Same applies for welfare. But me being a woman who identifies as a woman, me being raised in the environment I was, I believe Planned Parenthood is a good thing. I believe women have the right to do whatever the hell they want with their body, unless what they do to themselves is going to end their life or is going to end many other people's lives. I'm not going to get into the sticky subject of whether or not I'm specifically pro-life or specifically pro-choice, because unless you're in that situation, man, you can't say jack shit. Period. End of statement. Unless you're living it, don't fucking talk about it. What else? I believe in marriage equality. I believe equal rights means equal rights. You don't put restrictions on what equality is, because that's oxymoronic. And I think being that 2 people in my immediate family were adopted, my mother and my sister, who was raised by my aunt and uncle, that denying a stable human being or pair of human beings from adopting a child that they want to have, that they want to be responsible for, that they want to love and raise, telling them that they can't, is idiotic. Because if you're going to defund the programs, Planned Parenthood, that provide birth control and health regulation to prevent and handle unwanted pregnancies, you cannot then turn around and limit who raises all of these children you just governmentally insisted be born for religious motivation. You can believe whatever you want. Be whatever religion you are. That's you. Okay, fine. But the minute you start imposing it on everyone else, you've lost all credibility. You get to believe what you want, you get to do what you want with your own life, and you get to fall in love with someone who shares your beliefs and raise your family your way. You don't get to turn around to the next person over and tell them, this is how I do it, ergo, you must as well. So I guess my viewpoints make it pretty damn obvious I'm a liberal Democrat. But I don't care. It works for me. I'm happy in my own skin when it comes to my political standpoints. I'm fine in my own head with the logic of why these principles and beliefs and ethics work for me. If you disagree with me, then disagree with me. It's human. It's normal. It's logical to disagree with something that doesn't make sense to you. My final political comment. Having just gone through Hurricane Sandy in New York, and having dealt with the idiocy of what went on with the marathon, here's my thought, suspicious, paranoid, psychotic that I am. Mayor Bloomberg knew it was going to get canceled. He knew it had to be canceled. He knew from the beginning of the weather reports telling them what Sandy was going to be. He knew. He's been in office too long not to know. He's been a businessman too long not to see the chess moves involved here. Okay? The reason, in my mind, he didn't officially cancel it until the end is actually honestly related to what he said about why the marathon was being continued in the first place. Because his primary point was that it brings in a huge economic boon to the city, which we always depend on, which we always are going to need, and which, given the crisis and magnitude of Sandy, we're going to need to help the people who have been absolutely fucked over by this storm. His logic there is sound. But the political manipulation comes in when you realize he put it off until the last minute, the cancellation of this race. He put that off until the last minute because by then, most of the people who were paying for hotel rooms, travel, transit within New York City, meals, etc., would already be here. So that no matter what was lost by the race being canceled, at least some of it is recaptured in forcing those people to stay here long enough, a day even, to spend something. It's mitigating his losses. That's what putting it off to the last minute cancellation was. I admit, I'm the paranoid type. Excuse me, I am the suspicious type. But to me, that's what makes sense. That to me was the chess move. So on that, I'm done. I'm going to go vote and have my nerd day marathon while Tribble comfortably sleeps in her hammock, providing me with all the cute I'm going to need today, because Sam's at work. I mean, I'm glad the store's up and running and he's back at work and he's happy about all that, but it still sucks not being able to spend your birthday with your spouse. Okay, talk to y'all later. Hope today is not too stressful for you, and I won't say I hope your person wins because your person might not be my person, so hopefully it's not too traumatic.